Hi Gemini, welcome to your prosperity forecast for the period between April 1st and July 1st, 2017. It's Rena here, and yeah, what I'm going to do before, well, let me just put out the cards, and then I'm going to read from a book called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder, but just like a very quick thing. I'm not going to just start reading a long passage from it. Just to wet your whistle a little bit for this this type of reading. I like it already. I still like it. Okay, this is a good little excerpt to read to you. Remind yourself often that every good thing already exists in the realm of substance. Through your high expectancy, mental images, and prosperous thought and action, you become master of the realm of substance and can bring forth whatever you wish from it. The history of the world shows that every mental demand of man has been met. Make yours now. Stick to it and you will succeed. And basically, you know, you could look at this as visualization and having that sense of emotional well-being attached to it as well. So in other words, being in a high vibration as you visualize what it is that you want to bring forth and manifest is important. It's not enough to just think about something. You have to attach a positive feeling to it, so that, you know, it's not, you know, it's not something tangible at this point when you're just having an idea, but you have to have a passion for what it is that you want. If you have ambivalence, if you just are kind of into it, I guess that's a form of ambivalence, but anything that is not a pure desire might not be as powerful. So just to keep that in mind. And actually, you know, sometimes we have such strong feelings of what we don't want that it overpowers us, and we just are focused on, you know, I don't want this, and it could even, you know, go into the realm of fear of, oh God, what if that happened? I don't want that, but it's dominating the consciousness. So this is about kind of flipping that script and making the things that you want to occur be first and foremost on your mind. Okay. The overall theme for this 3-month period is the Fool card. This is about somebody who is endeavoring to go on a journey, and he's got his knapsack, and it's a very small piece of luggage, if you want to even call it luggage, which symbolizes being light, having a light load, not being weighed down by worry, by memories, the past. And this person doesn't, I don't see that they have their roadmap. They're not necessarily going to a specific destination. That's why they're on foot, but they are ready for an adventure. And you are going to be having your solar return during this time. So let's see, what can you do? When is your new moon? Your new moon is on May 25th. So that can be a time when you really set your intentions for what you want in the next 12 months. And I bought this little law of attraction. I don't know if I have it right here. Maybe I do. I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, I don't have it available right here, but there's something I got off of Amazon that it's kind of like a 30-day planner. And I almost returned it because it was so overwhelming. They have all these different areas of your life. But so it was only about $16 or so. It's really worth it to invest in things that make you think, that inspire you when you're trying to achieve certain things. And you don't have to spend a lot of money either, but just thinking of ways as you near your solar return, how you can really lay the groundwork for the next 12 months. In the past position, we have the Four of Swords. I associate this with your 12th house and that kind of retreat mode, which happens when the sun goes into your 12th house. For you, this is when the sun is going into Taurus. And this is a time when people tend to feel a little bit sleepy and tired. It's an interior kind of an energy, so they may not be as extroverted, or they may not be social as often. And that's good, because when you have periods of time in your life where you retreat, which is what the Four of Swords represents, you're able to think about your life, and you're not constantly taking in other people's opinions, taking in other people's way of doing things. And they have opinions about your life too. You know, that's the thing about opinions. And something else, everyone has one. So sometimes you don't want other people's input, or you don't need it, or it's not. It would actually be counterproductive. Sometimes it's very productive, but sometimes it gets in the way. So the higher, let me talk about this, because this is coming in as well, which doesn't surprise me. Transition, the death of the old. And this can be a way of you viewing certain things. Have you had any shifts, Gemini, in the past year, in the past 9 years? This is a one universal year, so we have embarked upon a new numerological cycle, 9-year cycle. And you are no different than any of us, that we all are on this long, strange trip together. It could be that you decide to end some kind of job, since this is a career reading, or a prosperity. I mean, it's money, career. You may decide that you don't want to be doing something, and that's where the Fool. See, if you have the Fool and the Death card, it totally shows transition. And sometimes it can be that external circumstances make that ending happen. As a matter of fact, I think that's more likely than not. Where you may have stuck with something, like let's say it was a job, because we're doing a career reading, and it fell off on its own accord. You got laid off, but you're not broken up about it, because you say to yourself, well, I was going to quit anyway. And you might even look at it like, well, now that I have been laid off, I get to collect unemployment insurance. If I would have quit, I would have had to just suck it up alone. You know, making lemonade out of lemons. But the interesting thing is that the higher message is the Lover's card. This is your card, believe it or not, Gemini, in the Major Arcana. It can deal with any issue around healing, around harmony, intimacy, but it can't, and of course love, but it can be a choice that needs to be made. So with the Death card, it may have ended something, but maybe there still are loose ends. Maybe the Death card was the death of a dream. Maybe you had hoped to become, aspire to a certain position at a company and somebody else got the promotion, but you're still at that company and you're wondering, should I leave even though I didn't get what I want that I think I deserved, or should I just stick it out? What crosses you is the Six of Wands. This is a very positive card, even in the challenged position. I think it's just an attitude adjustment, but it can talk about success being delayed. So that kind of goes along with what I just said. I mean, if you had your heart set on something related to a career, maybe you started a business and it hasn't seen the kind of growth that you had hoped for right off the bat, and you're thinking of throwing in the towel. This card may be saying that it's a delayed situation. Maybe you started it at a time that it wasn't quite ideal. You know, it seems to me that there are certain economic cycles that favor or don't favor people spending money, maybe even the attention to whatever it is you're trying to promote. There may be a lack of it if there's other things going on in the person's lives and things of that nature. And so you launch something that may have not reached as many people as you'd hoped. You know, the sky's the limit on what it could be. But the point is that it still is a positive card. Maybe it's still going to happen, but you have to be patient. And even in a job situation, you may not have gotten a certain position that you'd hoped for, but it doesn't mean that all hope is lost. What comes in is the Page of Pentacles, and this could be a message that is received. I've been getting this card multiple times. I think because we are having a Mercury retrograde, which I probably should have told you about since it's you're ruled by Mercury, which is happening from April 9th until May 3rd. So during this time period, there can be back and forth, people reviewing certain things related to whatever house that Mercury transits. For you, it's going to actually be, or start in the, is it going to be, let's see, your jump, it'll be in your, yeah, it'll be in your, it'll go, let's see, because it's actually starting in Taurus. So it's starting in your 12th house, going back into your 11th house of Aries. So this seems to me more of a spiritual nature, what you have been wanting, your heart's desire, the 11th house, hopes and wishes. And maybe there's some kind of a dream that you've had, and the 12th house is like literal dreams. The 11th house is more like the dreams associated with your goals, but the 12th house is more like these dreams. Maybe you have some kind of a mystical experience or a dream that reminds you of something that you have wanted to do, that you buried, that you like put on a shelf. And you start to think, should I do this? Should I really make this happen? So Page of Pentacles, I don't know if that, I kind of went off on a tangent thinking about Mercury retrograde, but Page of Pentacles, let me just get it back into that, it can be hearing from an employer, talking about a job. It could be something to do with a job, or something about money that you've invested, money that you've earned. And it could be also a student. You may go back to school, get training, something along those lines. And then the outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. This is somebody who is hard at work, who has a goal in mind for what they are seeking to buy or seeking to, like, it's about amassing money because you have a goal in mind, or It can just be somebody who's very diligent about their work, who's very consistently working at something. Because you're a mutable air sign, you're much more versatile, much more shifting in your energetic flow. In other words, the Knight of Pentacles connects with the sign of Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign. So there's a real sense with Taurus, it doesn't get any more predictable. But on the flip side, you could say it doesn't get any more reliable. With Gemini, sometimes the sign of Gemini, rightly or not, gets accused of being unreliable or hard to pin down or inconsistent, okay? Now, this will be greatly modified depending on your other personal planets. You may, since you're right next to Taurus, you may have some Taurus energy that grounds you, that keeps you doing things in a reliable manner. But regardless, there is something to be said about your traits as well, because that flexibility can be very helpful when you're trying to navigate life. Life doesn't conform to our expectations at all times, does it? So people who are able to kind of adapt to change fare a lot better than people who are rigid. On the other hand, Taurus is predictable and they can see results over time, which is fine because they're also patient. So there's something to be said for both ways of doing things. You may decide because you have a specific goal, like for instance, putting a down payment on a house or saving up enough money so that you can travel the world. Whatever it is, you may be very diligent at this time and, you know, kind of like driven to pile up money. And that this implies that you're going to have the ability to make the money. So I think that you're going to be doing really well, Gemini. You have these major arcana cards, which 3 of them out of 7. So this may be a very important time for you. And of course, it is your solar return period. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below this video to my online store. Otherwise, have a great time period. Bye.